Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sticky Bird Poo. Today I wanted to introduce a new video series where I will be discussing some topics in a more informal setting. I'm doing this to help explain some issues easier, mostly for myself, so that I can consistently put out more helpful content for this growing community. It's been a concern for myself for a while now that, well, not a major concern, but a concern in the sense that people don't understand how to properly farm overland sets, for example, Spriggans, Plague Doctors, and Silks of the Sun. And a lot of times they end up resorting to spending money on it, and it's like at some auction house. They'll end up having to spend outrageous amounts of money, who knows, 50k gold, 300k gold. I mean, it seems very outrageous for me, being the advocate for the community and thinking, hey, you know, the money you earn in the game, yes, it's digital money, but it's still time. It's time that you have available to play the game, that time you spent to get the money. So, I wanted to put out a video that would help you farm stuff that you might need, and additionally be able to make money by selling stuff that other people might need. So a while back I put out a video on how to install Harvest Map, the add-on, and then manually update it. A lot of people don't realize that it's very helpful to manually update. Well, when you go into a public dungeon, for example, and this is to back it up, when you're farming overland sets, let's say Spriggans, because this is what I focused on in this video. Spriggans is kind of currently, as of today's date, November 1st, 2017, is starting to be a meta in preparation for like PvE content, and also for PvP content. It's very a staple piece for a lot of stamina users. And so people will want to get that. You'll have your preference whether you're wanting to get impen for PvP or you're wanting to get sharpened weapons, which is the preferred most often, unless you want infused for your offhand or whatever. Everybody has their own personal views on what build is best for them, and that's excellent. I'm a power farmer, so I have my own views for what's best for me. I reference a lot of different people's material. I reference Outcast's builds. He has a lot of very good builds. There's a lot of great people in the community that are putting out excellent content, and I try to reference that and provide that information as I have available and as I know. I don't have all the answers in this game. This is a massive game. But getting back to this, I like farming public dungeons because it seems like everything is there in that public dungeon for me when I'm using Harvest Map. Now when I'm using Harvest Map, it's gonna show me every single node in that public dungeon. Now the thing with nodes, and what I tried to touch on when I talked about forcing node respawns in one of my earlier videos, and reducing mob timers, and also using the Harvest Map add-on, you could cause things in the dungeon to start spawning and happening more often, like new nodes. Now it's always random what's going to appear, but if you could see everything on the map, and you start rotating from one side to the other side of the map, and just start gradually working your way around, and as you're doing that, you kill the bosses will drop a shoulder, a handpiece, or a weapon. And a lot of people always think, hey, I want that weapon, that's going to give me the damage, and that makes sense. Yes, in many ways that is what's going to give you a lot of your damage, even though the armor really plays into that. But when you go into a public dungeon, you have those bosses, you can kill them, and as you're rotating around the map, there's a lot of treasure chests. And most players that go into these places, into the public dungeons, like Razok's Wheel and Crimson Cove and Crow's Wood and all these other public dungeons, when you're in there, most people are there to either do the quest line or kill the bosses. They're not really thinking, hey, I need to loot these nodes, I need to get these chests. So you go there, you start working around the map. There's many different types of farms for each public dungeon, and as you're going around there, you will gradually clear a certain area, and that causes things to begin. The game wants to populate stuff in the rest of the area so that there's stuff to loot, stuff for you to do. And there is a kind of a respawn timer. It's not really noticeable if you're doing the mechanics. It's going to be pretty consistent as you move around in this. And as you can see in this video, I'm going around killing these bosses, and then I'm checking these spots, all these node spots that are marked from Harvest Map, and I'm picking up items. No, the items are not always what I want, but I get what I want on occasion, and then I also get other items that I could sell and get money, which in turn I could use to purchase what I want. And at the same time, I'm not shelling a whole buttload amount of money out of my pocket without gaining anything at the same time. And who knows, you may get the weapon you want. Now with the transmute properties and all that, you can change the traits. You might get something on those lines. You might get that, OMG, this is a weapon that I've been wanting for forever, and it's just one, it's oh my god, it's powered. Oi. Well, not a big problem. If you have those transmute crystals and they're not spoken for, then you could do that. So one thing to keep in mind when you're doing these rotations, I'm sure everybody who's ever farmed a public dungeon or gone and killed these bosses, there's times when you kill a boss and you get nothing but gold and experience, and you're thinking, why is this? There's a timer on each boss, in between each bosses, which you loot, and then when you can loot again and actually get more gear. The timer is roughly around 2.5 minutes to 3 minutes in between each of the bosses. It's not an exact science. Sometimes you could squeeze 2 people in there, 2 bosses, but you end up hitting that area. If you find that you're killing bosses and you're getting nothing but experience and gold, moderate amount, then you've killed too fast. Occasionally I've experienced it where I've been killing so fast, like just boom, 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 killing all these bosses and doing a rotation and doing it again, that I can actually glitch it in a negative sense, and then all the bosses, regardless of the amount of time, it could be 15, 20 minutes, even an hour, all they'll give me is gold and experience, which is very sad and kind of a waste of time. So what I try to do is when I first start hitting that wall where I'm getting only experience and gold, then I just think, okay, I need to slow down. I'm gonna loot these nodes, I'm gonna look for these chests, kill these mobs. Keep in mind too, when you're killing mobs, all mobs in a zone have a chance of dropping that zone sets, the 3 sets that are potential to drop there. They can drop any of those. So that's very good too. So you just go around, if you're getting the nodes, you're killing the mobs, and you're just being mindful that you have 2.5 to 3 minutes between each boss, you can actually do a very healthy, good farm as you're rotating around. Now if you have a merchant, yes, that's very useful in being able to vendor all the mini items that you're going to be getting. You're going to be getting a lot off of the mobs. You're going to get a lot of intricate items that can be sold and researched either for you, other people, or put on auction house, and you're going to be getting a lot of enchants, things like that. You choose what you want to sell, keep, and decon, or whatever, and it's going to be very helpful for you. The same with having a banker. You could dump stuff in the banker, but for the simple sense, I'm going to just focus on the fact if you don't have those things. If you don't have those things, you keep what is the best for you. And there you go. You could always have more than one character in the area and then just come back. You could hop off, transport one character out, and once his bags are full, and then deposit everything he has in his bags into the bank, or decon it, sell it, whatever. and then just rotate out onto the other character and continue to do the same thing. One thing I will recommend is if you are in the champion point bracket, like you've made it to level 50 and you've gone up into veteran levels with all number of champion points, you're going to be wanting to put some points into the treasure hunter perk, and that will make it a higher chance of when you find stuff, it will improve the potential of the items that you get. The drop rate is going to be much better. When you get simple chests, it improves the chances that you're going to get items. I did a video on that as well, and I guess if there is an interest, if you guys are interested in knowing the statistics again, I can run that again. It took me a while. I can't think of how many hours I had to run for that video, but I ran the statistics on the percentage of success, and that was leading up to the Clockwork City expansion DLC, because they nerfed a lot of the numbers, but now it's manageable. It's understandable why they would do that with the capacity to change your traits. But this is a very good method. You're going to run around in this video like I'm showing you. If you have a merchant, you just sell, start to finish. You just want to set up everything. You go in there, yes, things aren't going to be really organized, but as you clear out all the nodes, random new nodes will spawn throughout the dungeon. And as you move and process your way through, things are going to start spawning ahead of you because you've just looted things. And as you kill the mobs and the bosses, you're going to be getting stuff from the mobs, you're going to be getting stuff from the bosses, and then you're going to be seeing treasure chests, you're going to be seeing heavy sacks, getting loot from that, herbs, everything. It's just a very well-rounded sense of being able to do that. Now, if you're wanting specific items, you can go to the delves. You can get a group of people together and farm the world bosses. Or if your character is built up strong enough, you can farm the bosses on your own. What I recommend too is Wiki has very good, not necessarily guides, but informational on the overland sets and all the details. For example, I'm looking at the overland sets right now, and it talks about delve bosses will now drop a waist or feet set pieces from zones they are located in. Overland group bosses drop head, chest, legs, or weapon. Public dungeon bosses drop a shoulder, hand, or weapon. And treasure chests gained from defeating a Dark Anchor have a 100% chance of dropping a ring or amulet set piece for that zone that are located in. The above is also true of unstable anomalies found in Craiglorn. Okay, well, you get the point. Wiki is very good for looking up the overland sets, dungeon sets, and arena sets. The Elder Scrolls Wiki, I highly recommend that. Another thing to keep in mind is the more people in the zone, yes, they may be killing bosses. That's frustrating at times when you were about to kill them. But if you're moving through an area, they're also moving through an area. They're clearing out things. They might be, I can't tell you how many times I've been moving through an area and they killed a boss, but they left 4 or 5 treasure chests in just one area. I'm talking master chests, I'm talking advanced chests, I'm talking about simple chests, and I'm getting a lot out of those. Now, I've gotten sharpened spriggans, I've gotten all sorts of crazy drops from chests. You could get rings, you could get weapons, you could get major pieces, you could get all the wonderful traits. That's why I like doing the treasure chest farm while I'm in the public dungeon, because it gives you really rounded setup. It works really well. One thing I will say though is it takes time. It's not an instant thing. You're not going to get Necropotence sharpened Inferno, you're not going to get Necropotence sharpened Lightning, or you're not going to get Spriggans sharpened Swords and get 2 of them one right after another. You're not going to get that right away. You're not. You may have good luck and get 1 or 2 and get a lot of nice pieces, and you could sell them for good money, but it takes time. So what I suggest is that you just relax. I mean, if you're a social person, you hop on Discord, you BS with your buddies, you talk a little bit, and, say some jokes or whatever. Whatever you do, you be you. If you like listening to music, you put on your favorite music, listen to that. If you want to watch Netflix, then do the Netflix thing, Hulu, Amazon Prime, whatever, and just veg out while you do it and just kick back. I mean, you want to binge out on, like, shoot, I don't know, Game of Thrones, whatever, some cartoon, you know, drink some coffee, have a good time. Just be you and relax. This is something that happens gradually, and you will get money as you do it. I hope this video was helpful for you. I'm trying a new thing with this, trying to do it a little bit more casual. It'll make it easier for me to put out videos more informative on a regular basis for you. Y'all take care, have a good day, thank you for watching. I hope to see you next week.